This is Gen X Talks for the ones who are still scaling, still leading, and still human. I'm Jennifer Flynn, strategic advisor and voice of clarity when the noise gets too loud. Think less slide deck, more gut check. We talk about what's really happening underneath your business, the strategy, the story, and the soul of it all. Because legacy leadership doesn't start with a plan. It starts with telling the damn truth. So welcome to episode 4. Resilience is not a business strategy. You've been praised for your strength, celebrated for your consistency, admired even for how much you can hold. But at some point, resilience becomes a trap. And what used to feel like leadership now feels like endurance. This episode is for the ones who've worn the resilient badge so long that they forgot what rest even feels like. We're rewriting what it means to be a strong leader without losing yourself in the performance of it. And let me just say, me too, I've been there. So let's start here. Resilience is a survival skill. It's what we develop when we have no other choice. But when it becomes your primary operating system in business, it distorts your decisions. You start taking on more than you need to, saying yes before you even check your bandwidth, proving your worth through output, equating performance with value. That's not leadership. That's legacy erosion in real time. So I'm going to give you a visual metaphor here because I am the queen of metaphors. Let's talk about the fireproof suit. Being resilient is like wearing a fireproof suit in a room full of flames. It keeps you safe, keeps you functional. It lets you keep walking through the fire. But the longer you wear it, the more you forget what your own skin feels like. You become numb to the heat until one day you collapse from the exhaustion of constantly bracing for impact. And the worst part, people still clap. Because all they see is that you kept going. Let's talk about the quiet crash. A founder that I had worked with had been labeled Superman by her team. She was praised for how she handled stress, never missed a deadline, carried everyone during every tough thing that went on. But on the inside, she was burnt out, bitter, and one missed Slack message away from snapping like a dry twig. She didn't need a vacation. She needed to retire the identity of the resilient savior. So we worked on reestablishing boundaries, reassigning roles, and releasing guilt around not doing it all. And guess what? Her team didn't fall apart. Her offer didn't tank. She became a better leader and finally felt human again. So I want you to think about this from your own perspective. It's time for some truth telling. Where are you still wearing your fireproof suit? Or maybe worse, you don't even have a fireproof suit. You just set yourself on fire to keep other people warm. So where are you still wearing your fireproof suit long after the flames are gone? Where are you choosing performance over presence? And if your team or business truly saw your needs, what would change? This isn't about throwing it all away. It's about stepping out of the armor. True leadership isn't about holding more. It's about discerning what's yours to hold in the first place. Resilience served you, no doubt, no question. It protected you. But it's not the next evolution. The next evolution is regulation. Or as we say around here, inner capacity, clean bandwidth, emotional readiness, being tuned into your compass or your North Star. Because when you lead from nervous system integrity, you make decisions from truth, not trauma, from alignment, not overcompensation. And that's when the business becomes sustainable, not just scalable. So I want you to try this today. If I no longer had to prove I'm strong, What would I say no to? If I wasn't the resilient one, who might I get to be instead? You're allowed to build a business that doesn't require constant emotional labor. So, in the next episode, we're going to get into visibility, specifically what happens when you start holding back your voice, not because you lack strategy, but because the pressure to perform has made its expression feel unsafe. So, that episode, number 5, you don't need a visibility plan, you need permission to show up differently. That one's going to go deep. Bring a journal. So, for today, you don't have to keep surviving your own business. You get to rebuild it one brave boundary at a time, one brave truth at a time. Thanks for being here. I'll catch you next time where we say what needs to be said and stop pretending we're fine.